2023 was a huge year for Disney parks, with the opening of new restaurants, new attractions, new holiday parties, returning festivals, and new meet and greets. Today we are visiting all 4 Walt Disney World parks in an attempt to cover it all. This is 2023, a year in review. Before I kick off this jam-packed video, I do want to clarify, we're going in order of when these events happened here in 2023 at the Disney parks. So we're going to be jumping around. I know I'm at Magic Kingdom right now. We're going to be jumping over to Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Magic Kingdom, specifically in the parks because there's a few resort things that I didn't want to cover because that's going to be just too much. This is already such a long video as it is. Okay, we're going to kick off really quick with early January, I think at Epcot. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the edit. January 12th, 2023, I stood in this exact spot for the debut of the greatest festival in Epcot history. That is Festival of the Arts. I was dressed like Andy Warhol. I think those days are probably behind me. The reason I'm covering this first is because not only was it the first of the year, but it is really my favorite festival here at Epcot. This year we saw the return of the Figment popcorn buckets, except this time there was no line whatsoever, not a 5-hour line like there was the year before. And honestly, the Festival of the Arts video from last year that I did on the regular For the Love of Theme Parks channel is probably one of my favorite Epcot videos I've ever done. Out of everything coming back next year, I'm probably most excited for Festival of the Arts, but this is a very, very long list and I want to keep it going. So let's continue on to point number 2, which some of you might be a little sad about. January 23rd, 2023, about 50% of the Disney fan base was very, very sad to see Splash Mountain close here at the Magic Kingdom forever. And the other 50% was joyously applauding. After being announced in June of 2020 that Splash Mountain would be closing eventually for a retheme to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it finally happened in January, and a lot of people were sad about it. A lot of people were pretty happy about it. I got my last ride in December, and it was an actual nightmare. From what I saw, there was a lot of people trying to be the very last riders on, to the point where cast members were like, no, either you're getting in line now or we're cutting it off. There was a lot of jars of liquid from here being sold. Liquid meaning water. I said liquid and it maybe sounded like it might have been something else. It was water. Trust me, it was Splash Mountain water. Selling sometimes for over $100, maybe $1,000 on eBay for diehard fans everywhere. But we are looking forward to the Tiana's Bayou Adventure retheme that is currently happening right now. There's a bunch of construction going on. They're honestly making so much more progress than I thought I would. Today, specifically, they're hanging the moss from the tree. Some of these construction workers are actually I was a little worried that it would not be opening in 2024, but based off of the exterior construction they have, plus some updates that they were showing during the holiday special on ABC, from the interior, I'm really thinking that is probably going to be opening in 2024. I'm still probably going to say December because that's just how Disney works. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the biggest stories of the entire year, Splash Mountain closing, retheme and stuff. Disneyland closed after that. It is still open over in Japan with the traditional Splash Mountain theme, but unfortunately both locations here in the States are closed, unfortunately for some. This is a pretty divisive topic. I don't know, maybe we'll move on to the next one. January was a packed month. March 23rd, 2023, Disney's Hollywood Studios opens Woody's Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. This is a family-style barbecue restaurant that is heavily themed to Andy's Toy Box type. I think that's what they're going for. Originally, it opened to not the most stellar reviews, but since I've eaten here in the past 2 months, I believe it was 2 months ago when we ate here, I had a really good time. I think it was a lot more solid than a lot of other creators made it seem to be. Maybe it was just some a rough opening weekend or something like that. This is not a character dining experience, although it has a price point that is similar to a character dining experience. It's fairly expensive, guys. I definitely think it's a great addition to Hollywood Studios dining options, especially because most dining here at Studios has been open since the mid-90s and they haven't really changed a lot. So I'm happy to see that this is one new addition that's a sit-down place that's reservation sit-down that is a really solid pick. I think it really is that good. I think it's worth doing. April 3rd, 2023, Disney went back on probably what was their biggest mistake of the 50th anniversary celebration. And finally, they brought back Happily Ever After, the nighttime spectacular here at Magic Kingdom, replacing Enchantment, the show that I only saw once. Happily Ever After, if you guys don't know, is my favorite nighttime show ever. at any Disney park, and I'm so happy to see it back. There was a lot of like fan revolt, even so to the point where like right after Enchantment debuted, they were asking questionnaires by the exit of the park after Enchantment saying, hey, what do you think of this new show? And a cast member who was asking us questions was kind of pushing like, would you say it lacked heart? Did you prefer other shows? Like, it felt like they were already saying, okay, well, we have to bring back Happily Ever After. April 3rd, the date where they brought it back, I was here. I was sitting right in front of the partner statue. I was here with some great friends. I did not document the event itself, mainly because I wanted to enjoy it. The very first night back, I had an amazing time, other than people singing like really, really loud to the point where I couldn't even hear. And I have seen it a few times since that opening day, and I'm so happy to see it, guys. This is probably, again, like I said, one of the biggest events, aside from another huge coaster that is opened here at Magic Kingdom that was literally the day after, and that is the next point in our list. April 4th, 2023, Walt Disney World officially opened Tron Lightcycle Run. There was a long period of previews, that be it like cast member and annual pass holder previews. We were actually able to get in on a cast member preview fairly early for this one, among some of the first groups to ride this. And honestly, Tron Lightcycle Run has actually like grown on me. At first, we gave it not so stellar of a review, including like us coming back for our like pass holder preview and having a cast member tell us, hey, I'm glad to see that you're back, because the video of us giving it not so great of a review did pretty well online, and I feel like they might have seen it. That being said, there are a few like downsides to Tron existing here at Magic Kingdom, and that is it being a virtual queue and probably being a virtual queue for the foreseeable future. You have to wake up at 7 a.m. in order to guarantee yourself a spot. Even then, it's not guaranteed, so maybe I shouldn't use the word guarantee. But yeah, like I mentioned, this ride has really grown on me, and it is probably the biggest opening of the entire year here in 2023. And I figured, obviously, I have to highlight this. And I almost forgot that it opened this year. When I was making my list, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right, Tron did open. Since the opening of Tron in April, I have ridden this ride close to, I think, 10 times, and I do enjoy it a little more every single time, as long as I'm going for the front row. Front row is the way to go if you're not going for the like regular coaster seat, as opposed to the motorcycle seat. Tron is definitely a must if you are on your first trip here to Disney World. If you've already ridden it, I don't know what the re-rideability is like for everybody outside of myself, but it's definitely a huge highlight of 2023. May 26th, 2023, the live-action Little Mermaid debuts her meet and greet spot here at the Walt Disney Presents. Walt Disney Presents, that's what it's called. The location of this meet and greet was previously home to a Mike and Sully meet and greet, although it was, for the most part, Sully most of the time. Mike did not like showing up to work very often, really. I think this is a really great addition here at Hollywood Studios for meet and greets, for like princess meet and greets, because honestly, they don't exist here at Hollywood Studios, although there is some musicals from time to time, that be it the Beauty and the Beast and the Voyage of the Little Mermaid musical, which we're going to get to later in this video. I have met this version of the Little Mermaid. Actually, well, some of my friends did, and I might have footage and or photos. I have no idea. If it is, it's right over here. Face characters are normally not my thing here at the parks, so I try to avoid princess meet and greets the most that I can, for the most part. July 27th, 2023 was the very first day of Food and Wine Festival. Not only that, but it was the debut of the Pickle milkshake here at the Muppets Laboratory, which is the Odyssey Center sitting right behind me right now. This Pickle milkshake was the newest viral sensation when it comes to foods. Actually, I say viral, and it feels like that's what was talked about among creators, but I don't think there was any videos that blew up. I did a video and it did okay. Normally home to just the regular brew wing. This was the brew wing laboratory from the Muppets, and I think the theming was wonderful, but that pickle shake, I was here dressed as Guy Fieri doing a video, one of those videos. I guess I'll put in a clip for it here. Listen, these pants aren't gonna shit themselves. Within minutes, I changed this festival from Flavortown to Browntown. Hey now, you're an all-star. I did kind of breeze over Flower and Garden Festival, and I think that was mainly because there wasn't anything super notable from there, at least content-wise, things that you might have seen online. So that's, if you're asking why I didn't cover that, that's kind of why. And if you're asking, no, I did not like the pickle shake. It was absolutely horrible. I hated it. Probably the worst thing that entire festival. Well, we have officially made it to the halfway point of the year of 2023, and I want to say this now before I forget. If we missed anything, please let us know what we missed in the comments below. This was a list that I made off the top of my head. I did not do any back research, just things that we highlighted already / things that maybe we didn't cover that I could pull footage from. So again, let me know if I missed anything. Maybe wait till the end of the video for that, because maybe we haven't gotten to that point yet, but if I missed anything, please let me know. September 9th, 2023, Destination D took place at the Contemporary Resort here on Magic Kingdom Resort property. Now, rather than talk about every single one of these announcements at their individual parks, I found a quiet spot here at Magic Kingdom to sit down and go over everything lightning fast, because I know this video is already going to be long as it is. First off, Zootopia is going to be replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug over at Animal Kingdom. Now, this one I am pretty sure is going to happen, but there's a lot of things, actually almost all of these maybe will happen, because they've had not the best track record at D23 events for announcements and things actually following through. On top of Zootopia replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug, we have Tropical Americas coming to a new retheme to Dinoland USA. Unfortunately, we have talked about this actually in the past in a different video. The link will be in the corner, also description, other things like that. Now, this is Encanto and Indiana Jones based off of the concept art. They haven't officially said exactly what it is, but the concept art tells you exactly what it is. Also, a test track retheme or reimagining. Now, this is not going to be a completely new test track. They're just going to reimagine it to a new feel, I believe, because they've already had 2 previous versions of test track as of right now. And they're going to bring back some tunes / themes from World of Motion, which is the ride that used to be at the location where test track is way back in the day, closer to opening of Epcot. One other thing, I actually did just go check out to see if they started anything, but not even close yet. A tavern near Pirates of the Caribbean was announced, which is assumed to be at, what is it called? Tortuga Tavern right now, but this is going to be a new walk-up bar / quick service location, and I believe it's supposed to be one of the first locations on Magic Kingdom property where they actually serve alcohol. That is something that has not happened since the opening, other than sit-down restaurants, but that's one more thing that's happening here at Magic Kingdom, on top of the very last thing that I want to talk about, which is the Country Bear Jamboree reimagining as well. They are introducing new songs, getting rid of some old ones that may have had some issues when it comes to the social political landscape of 2023, and honestly for the past 20 years they probably should replace this earlier. Renaming some of the characters, giving them a little bit of a new look, and just redressing the entire show. That should be happening in 2024 as well, but these are all announcements that were announced over at D23 back in September, and I did want to cover this because it is a very important moment in the history of the year, and maybe not every single one of these are happening, and it is kind of a thing to look forward to next year or the years following, because Disney takes a while with these construction projects. But I want to just quickly touch upon that here before moving on to our next of September of 2023. September 10th, 2023, Figment re-debuted in his meet and greet spot for the first time in nearly a decade. This was a huge announcement at the D23 last year, but then at the D23 on September 9th, which I believe I just talked about in this video, it was announced hey, here he is, this is what he looks like. Also, he's starting to meet and greet tomorrow, which caused a 5+ hour long wait the very first day, and then proceeded to go down and down and down. And we went a week after, and it was about maybe a half-hour wait. It really just depends on timing. He is meeting from park open until about 5 p.m. most days here at Epcot. And if you are looking to find him, he's over at the ImageWorks. You just go in the exit of Figment, and you can find him through there very easily, actually. I've met him at least 3 or 4 times since he has re-debuted, and my last time I wanted to show him my tattoo, because I have a Figment tattoo, and he was very excited about that, and I was very thrilled to show off my Stone Cold 316 Figment. Yeah, I think this meet and greet is a wonderful addition to Epcot, or return to Epcot, and I think it's making the annual pass holders and diehard fans a little bit more hopeful that they'll keep Figment around for the time being, and it isn't going to be turning into an Inside Out ride like everybody is assuming, which apparently the director of the Inside Out movie was no, it's not replacing Figment. So we'll see. That is a rumor. I have no idea really, but Figment meet and greet is back, and that's really good. It's probably the best meet and greet that has returned this year so far. September 15th, 2023 saw the opening of a brand new meet and greet over at Magic Kingdom, and that is Mirabel from Encanto. This is at a spot over at Magic Kingdom, just to the right of the castle. Previously holding a meet and greet spot for Merida from Brave, now is the Encanto meet and greet spot. I did this with a few friends a few months ago, probably about a week after it opened in September. Lines are not really too long here as of right now, but it's timed out throughout the day, and it's not really that big of a spot, but it's honestly, I think, a perfect fit for Magic Kingdom before they opened the announced Encanto Land over at Animal Kingdom, and I'm very happy to see this. They did have it at Disneyland a little bit before it debuted here at Disney World. It is good to see some new meet and greets from some more like empowering female leads in the Disney like animated sphere, and especially here at Magic Kingdom. They could really use some new meet and greets, and I'm happy to see this here. September 18th, 2023, the world awoke to some troubling news over at Magic Kingdom. A bear was discovered during the morning checks of the railroad when they have like a cast member walk the entire track, and a bear was discovered on Magic Kingdom property. There was a lot of coverage of this one. I'm sure you guys remember this if you are a fan of theme parks just like me. It was honestly a huge hot topic. If you somehow missed it, I don't know. It came along with many, many really funny memes online. Caused actually most of the like full left-hand side of Magic Kingdom to be shut down for the entire day, up until I believe 4 o'clock, but I think it was like a party night or something like that. So like literally Big Thunder was open for regular park guests for like 2 hours that day. And then earlier in the morning, the following day, the bear was released back into the wild, in case you didn't catch the end of that story. Yeah, the bear at Magic Kingdom. I feel like this is probably one of the like big talking points of the year. Probably the biggest non-official Disney thing. This was all a lot of hearsay and rumors, and yeah, it did happen though. I can confirm it did happen. September 22nd, 2023, Soarin' over California returns here at Epcot. This was for the 100th anniversary celebration of the Walt Disney Company, and I'm very, very happy to see this returning to Epcot. It was over like seasonally over at Disney's California Adventure, which I traveled out for last year during their food and wine event. I believe that means possibly now that this is like Soarin' over California will be a seasonal thing. It'll pop in for certain festivals to celebrate, and I prefer Soarin' over California over Soarin' around the world. It's like one of my favorite rides of all time. At time of recording, which is December 21st, it is still here, but I believe as soon as the 100th anniversary booths that are over like at the front of World Showcase close, Soarin' over California is also going to close. I don't know if we have like a final date yet, but it's lasting at least to the end of the Festival of the Holidays. I'm very, very happy to see Soarin' over California back, and hopefully it'll be happening like once a year, once every 2 years for this Soarin' over California stan right here. That's me, guys. That's me. October 16th, 2023, Moana's Journey of Water officially opened to the public. Now, we were here on a preview just like we were for Tron, so we got to experience it a little bit early. I really do enjoy this experience now, and it's really refreshing, especially at night if you've been here at night. If you haven't been here at night, you definitely have to come here for this. During busy days, there is sometimes like a little bit of traffic jams within this attraction. Other than that, it's really, really enjoyable. One thing I did note when we originally covered this attraction, and one thing I do want to mention now, is that I feel like a big waste of space for the center of Epcot. It's like prime area for a new attraction. This was formerly the Innoventions area, Innoventions West, I believe. It's kind of flip-flop because this park, if you enter, it's facing south. I will admit, now that the rest of World Celebration, like the center of Epcot area, is open, I think it meshes a little bit better with the new version of Epcot, that be a college campus, and I don't know. This is a science and industry museum type attraction, but outdoors, and Disney did it. So the fake rocks are cool, and photo ops are there, obviously. Also, one other thing I don't think I've documented, and I don't know officially when the meet and greet started, but Moana has started meeting and greeting right next to Moana's Journey of Water. Let me point it out for you, because I don't think I've covered this yet. Moana's Journey of Water is right here, and to the left across one pathway is the Moana meet and greet. If you could see, it's just like right in front of the big ball. For a while earlier this year, Moana was meeting and greeting over at the Polynesian, but I'm very happy to see her here, mainly because like it's out of any place at all of Disney World, this is the place that makes the most sense. November 1st, 2023, Asha, the main character from the new Disney movie Wish, debuted here at Epcot in her brand new meet and greet. It's a redesigned meet and greet, actually. Formerly Pluto/Minnie used to meet over here. I will not be waiting in this line today, mainly because I believe it might even be past the point where she's doing meet and greets during the day. But we were here the very first week she was meeting and greeting. Dan had an absolute wonderful time. He actually liked the movie. I've never seen the movie, and she debuted even before the movie was out in theaters, which November 1st was her debut date, and then the movie didn't come out until like Thanksgiving week. That is quite a bit of time. I know Disney has a history of like debuting stuff in the parks before. I believe Frozen was part of World of Color before that movie even came out, so I guess that's a good promotional tool. Outside of special ticketed events, Asha is the only like new character that Disney has debuted this year that has not appeared anywhere else, at least to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below, because I know you guys will anyway. November 11th, 2023, the very first night of the Jollywood Nights here at Disney's Hollywood Studios takes place. I feel like this year, this will go down in infamy as probably like the worst thing to happen at Disney parks, mainly because that first night was an absolute disaster from what I've heard. Now, we did not cover Jollywood Nights on the channel from the actual event itself, but the day or two before we covered it, going here and highlighting everything that was happening. So I guess I haven't really talked too much on how that first night went, but from everybody that was there, it was an absolute disaster of a night. Not only were these meet and greets having lines of upwards to 2 hours for some of them, but all of these specialty food locations had very, very long lines as well. The Muppets show, the Muppets were only in for about a total of like 5 of the 30 minutes. It was raining almost the entire night. There was just so much going on with Jollywood Nights the very first night that so many people were disappointed. After that, they actually debuted some newer characters that they did not originally have for future nights. I know they refunded a lot of people. Some of the newer characters being like Santa Duffy. Do you guys know who Duffy is? This is the Santa version of him right here. The Tip Top Club over by Tower of Terror was definitely not what it was expected to be as well. It was literally just a line for a bar and some jazz singers. They were trying to get people to dance, but apparently they didn't want to. I don't know. I'm really, really glad I did not go to the Jollywood Nights. I've covered it a little bit over on Instagram of like, wow, okay, well, I guess that was a good decision, but I haven't talked about it here on For the Love of Vlogging on YouTube, so I just wanted to touch upon it here. I guess this recap was one of the only opportunities I could have without actually going to the event. Maybe next year. Maybe we'll go next year and see if it's any better than this year. I don't know, but we're for sure not going to any holiday parties this year. I'm sorry, guys. November 30th, 2023, over here at Magic Kingdom, the Hatbox Ghost debuted at the Haunted Mansion. It was a very, very long time coming since they had announced it way, way before, I believe at Destination D23 in September. And I'm pretty sure was teased earlier in the year as well, and he finally showed up. Honestly, you want to know a secret? I have not ridden since he's debuted, so you're not going to find footage of him in this video. It's already been a month. What I did ride for, though, is the Candleman. You know about that? No? Well, here's a clip. Did you know Disney World secretly updated the Haunted Mansion this week, and it's not the Hatbox Ghost? In the attic scene, a small figurine of the wax Candleman has materialized. One can only imagine this is a nod to the recently passed Imagineering legend, Raleigh Crump, who was a key figure of the Haunted Mansion itself, and could be seen here working on models of the Haunted Mansion's original concept, Museum of the Weird, where this wax Candleman would have been one of the main characters. That, honestly, I'm probably more excited about than the Hatbox Ghost being in there, because it's like a little hidden thing that not a lot of people know about, but I knew about a little bit before everybody else talked about it. But the Hatbox Ghost did debut here in November, just under a month ago. It's been a long time coming. It's been talked about for years and years, but it's one thing that finally happened here in 2023, and I'm honestly happy to see it. A lot of mixed opinions on it online, but I'm happy, very happy to see it. Dan wasn't, though.
You're paying so much money for people to care about the minutia of the storytelling of this place. It's not Hershey Park. It's not Six Flags. We're not just like having good fun times with talking Hershey Kisses. Like, you guys really want story when you're coming here. You're paying for it, and then just kind of have like the story be like, you know, it's just a little silly to me. But I really don't care.
December 5th, 2023, probably the second biggest event in all of Disney parks this year, outside of Tron, was that World Celebration here at Epcot opened. This has been a very, very long time coming. This was a five and a half year construction project, and honestly, first day, I was a little disappointed, but now, like, I feel like this is a really good addition to Epcot when it comes to providing seating areas, which was something they desperately need, and spaces that are like flex spaces for festivals and other things like that. This was also the debut of the Walt Dreamer statue, which way back in, I believe, August of 2022 was debuted. The physical statue was debuted at D23, but now they have brought it here to Epcot. It was installed. I just feel like Epcot is somewhat whole again. Like there isn't a giant, massive hole in the center of Epcot that you have to walk around a bunch of construction walls for, and I'm very, very happy for that. That was actually not the only thing that happened on December 5th. It was also the debut of the new Luminous Story of Us fireworks show, which was replacing Epcot Forever, which was a backup to previously before Harmonious. It's a weird long storyline of fireworks shows here that I don't really want to get into, but I do enjoy the new show. It definitely seems like an abridged version to the Harmonious show, but with some newer music, and I think the music selection might be even better on this than Harmonious or Illuminations or Epcot Forever. I think out of all the fireworks shows that have happened here in the past at Epcot, I believe Luminous is the best, and I know that's like a hot take because a lot of our other friends are not in agreement on that. I had a really, really good time opening night, and we returned to like a lit up world celebration area here in the center, which was really, really good to see that like there's actually more to this area, and it's a completely transformed space at night as well. And I believe that does take us to our very, very last date on this timeline, which is December 19th, as of right now, a few days ago, and that's back over at Hollywood Studios. And last but not least, December 19th, 2023, Disney announces the reimagining of the Voyage of the Little Mermaid show that has been closed since before COVID shut down. So 2020 was the last time this was open. Once it does reopen, this will not be the same exact show that existed previously. They announced the same exact thing for the Nemo show over at Animal Kingdom, I believe 2 years ago now. That has debuted. It is pretty much the same show, but there are a few different tweaks, and I believe that's probably going to be the same for this. They do have some new concept art that they debuted as well for like the Voyage of the Little Mermaid show that's now going to be called, I think, The Story of the Little... I'm going to correct myself down below. Originally, I thought maybe they'll be doing a show starring the live-action Little Mermaid, and they'll have like a real-life pelican and crab as well doing a rap. That'd be really fun, right? No, it would not be fun. Honestly, I have not ever been to this show because it's in the area of the park that I usually try to avoid, especially pre-moving down here. And it does give a little hint that this area is probably not going to be utilized for like a new land, which originally people were speculating before. If you didn't know, the studio area back here has Disney Junior's dance party as well as Launch Bay and the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. This is a lot back here. This is a very, very valuable real estate spot at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I think it would make a wonderful space for a brand new land, but I don't think it's enough for Cars Land. That is just something that people have been talking about. Like, this is so much space, but there is kind of offices back in this area as well as it backing up to a parking garage. So it's very unlikely, very unlikely. Or at least I think a parking garage back there. I haven't been backstage here. That's just what I heard about. I do also think this would make an absolutely wonderful spot for not only Cars Land, but maybe even like a Monsters Inc. land, and they could kind of tie it in like Pixar, more Pixar stuff. They need more Pixar at this park. I feel like this is definitely the Pixar park if you're talking Disney World for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video and our recap of Disney parks in 2023. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if I missed anything, please let me know. I'm sure I missed like probably something huge. And I want to thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's it for today. I will see you guys real soon. Okay, goodbye.